Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. We're going to close out the show talking about Financial Planning Month. I'm back with Bo Henderson.
Hey, Keisha, how's it going? It's good to be here.
It's fantastic. Now, this isn't the only time we should be talking about financial planning, obviously. We want it to be a consistent conversation. But what kind of tips do we have for folks who are maybe, just starting to dip their toe in the water in terms of budgeting and things like that for the long term?
I thought it was funny that financial planning awareness is in October because we think of Halloween, but sometimes financial matters can be kind of scary too for people. So how do we demystify that, so to speak, or how do we even start attacking that? And really, if we have one big message here, is to shift from being reactive, meaning I know we're all busy with careers, family, all the stuff, to proactive. Because if we're reactive, we're addressing financial problems after they happen, and we typically have less option, we're less in control, and in a lot of cases, we're in somebody else's financial plan.
Now, that's so smart because I think that when it comes to finances, that's exactly what we do. We react to what the issue is or what the problem is. The kids have got to go to college, so now I'm going to start saving. Well, we kind of should have started that a little bit earlier while they were in elementary school before they got time to do that. So you're right. So often finances are kind of a reactionary thing for many of us. What kind of tips do you have to get us ahead of the curve?
Well, the first thing, it all starts with clarity. Now, the result of clarity is energy, meaning action. And clarity is just, again, we're so busy. A lot of times we don't get clear on where are we actually? What are my expenses going out? What is the income coming in? Where do I want to go? And then once we have clarity on those things, what's the plan to get there? If I can't answer that I have those things in place, that's a sign that I need to step back and start thinking through those things and saying, okay, what's the reality? It's like a GPS, right, Keisha? Where am I now? I have to know that. I have to plug in where I'm going, and then I can get a map to get there. So the first thing I would say is seek clarity. How do you do that? And the actions to do that would be start looking at, we could get worksheets, spreadsheets to really work on the expenses. Start thinking through, like I loved your example, Keisha, was think about if I have a kid going to college in 12 years, let's map that out and back into it and start working on it now so that we're not reacting 2 years before college and saying, how in the world am I going to do this, right? And then the third thing, and I'm a little biased, right, because I've been doing retirement planning, financial planning for over 20 years now, but the research shows that if you work with an advisor, you can have an alpha or an increased result up to a 3% difference by having somebody there just to take you through processes, keep you accountable. And one of the big things that I think comes up the most is keep you from doing irrational behaviors when we're stressed, tired, or going through something tough.
Oh, wow. Now, that's a big one because you're right. When those situations happen, when life happens to most of us, the panic, the flags go up and, money starts either flying out the window or we haven't, budgeted correctly and we didn't have an emergency account in addition to the savings account. So we're pulling from the savings, which we should never even touch. All those things go bananas. So in case people are, before they get there, if they have not had an opportunity to have a financial planner in their life, do you have a website where they could maybe even get some tips, learn what the questions they should be asking, to get the right person on board with them?
Yes, there's a lot of information, a lot of educational materials, workshops at richlifeadvisors.com. It's richlifeadvisors.com. And I think one of the big keys there is look for interview. This is like dating. This is important. Look for and interview somebody that's a stage specific, meaning if you're just getting out of school, starting a job, you have somebody that might have a different process to really dial in how to help those transitions versus in my world, and a lot of what we do in our practice, we're dealing with tax planning, estate planning, because those are transitions and shifts specific to transition from working life to retirement. So interview, find people, tell them, ask them questions, what is your plan for somebody like me with a kid going to college in 10 years? What is your plan to make sure if my goal is to retire at 55, or if I'm 55 and I want to retire in 3 years? What is your plan for tax planning? If we're talking retirement, what do you do to optimize my Social Security benefit, which is one of the largest sources of income for most retirees? So ask questions, interview, take your time. And what you're doing is when you do financial planning, you as the individual, it's your responsibility. You're doing financial planning too. You're not just delegating that to the advisor, and you're working together to make sure it's your job to make sure they're clear on the clarity again, right? Clear on your goals, who you are, your priorities, your behavior, your risk level, and you work together. And here's the thing too, we work towards the anchor. Here's where I want to be in 5 years, say 10 years from now. We work towards that, knowing full well life, when you're dealing with humans in life, it doesn't work out like the spreadsheet, but if we're working towards a specific goal, we're in a much better position when it comes time to be flexible and adjust.
Oh, thank you so much, Bo. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. It's good to see you.
It's so good to see you, Keisha.
All right, guys. If you, in fact, are in need of some tips and a little guidance, please go to the website. It is there for you. Take this opportunity, make this the opportunity that you start doing what you need to do for your financial future. Yes, I know it's Financial Planning Month, but this isn't the only time we should be thinking about it. It is a consistent thing. So take the opportunity to go to the website and learn more. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to this week's episode of Focus Atlanta. I hope to see you next Sunday here on WEPA.